Hello and welcome back to the channel, Cali Legends Media. Before I begin, I want to say thank you to all the subscribers. Thank you for your support. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget, hitting that like button doesn't cost a dime, but it's very valuable to content creators. It helps gets our videos moving through the algorithm. If you really want to help, next to the like button is the hype button. You hit that hype button and that video is going to get pushed through the algorithm. Okay, so I was watching a video, okay, with DUBS, okay? The reason why I clicked on that video, because Gunner came out refuting all of the accusations made towards him, right? Anyways, so DUBS begins a video saying that lately the double barrels have been pulled out on him and Gunner. Well, I don't think so. I think this has been going on for some time now. For DUBS, I believe it began when people started finding out that he was in bad standings and he had left or paroled in bad standings, okay? And the people felt as though they were lied to, even though maybe they weren't. They just weren't told. It just wasn't made known that DUBS had actually went SNY, okay? I'm not going to get into that, but I want to just mention a few things concerning DUBS. I haven't mentioned him not even once in any of these videos, these past videos that I've done lately. They were pretty much geared for Gunner and his performance on YouTube and just everything that's been going on around him, things that he's been saying, the way he's been acting and stuff, coming out with what happened with Josh early in the game and blurting that out, which is something very personal and belongs, that right belongs to the family. What the family wants the public to know or understand and believe, or for the family just to know the truth. So when he did that kind of yerked me, right? And then Chemo came out with all of these text messages, with the ratio in the windows and so forth, okay? And to me, racism has never been a factor in my life, I was in a riot, okay, up in Ironwood with the blacks, against the blacks, but it wasn't personal for me. It was just business. I was in prison, and I don't even know what the beef was between the raza and the blacks. All I know is the bell rang and everybody took flight, and I knew where in that scenario where I had to be. So it wasn't anything racial or anything really even personal. It was just business, and I believe I could see they would understand that in that setting, okay? True, it was only a level 3 yard, but nevertheless, rules are rules, right? And one of the reasons why I kind of bring that up is because, well, first of all, let me say, when somebody makes a video concerning something that DUBS does or says or his behavior, Gunner always makes a video defending him, right? It wasn't addressed to him. It didn't involve him directly. It had to do with DUBS. But Gunner jumps up and makes a video. Well, it looks cute, but no, that ain't cool. You know what I mean? That's DUBS beef to ride, for him to figure out, for him to contend with, And by Gunner jumping up there like that, makes it look like he condones any of that type of activity, which he does, but still, you know, if we're not talking to Gunner, why would he respond? You know. And I think today's video by Dubs was kind of him responding without directly responding and coming out to defend Gunner. You know, he says that he's been put in that basket of people who are racist on YouTube. And I remember there was some talk about that a while back, maybe a year ago, around the time when I was getting my groove on, just starting to learn YouTube. And I know there was questions about that, okay? And it was addressed, and Dubs did address it. Whether he addressed it satisfactorily or not, I don't know. It sounded like to me, but it's really not important so much what I think. It's how he makes other people feel in that category, in that race, you know. And I noticed today, while he was speaking, he was bringing up leadership positions and YA and, you know, a bunch of stuff that has nothing to do with the subject, the topic, or the people involved, even if it's him. You know, YA was YA. YA was for young adults and children. You know what I mean? We're grown men now. I think he's in his 50s. I'm in my 60s, early 60s, and yeah, whatever happened in those days happened in those days. But what matters is what we're talking about presently. You know, what's taking place today, what comes out of our mouth today, how we act today, how we make people feel about what we say and do today, if you care about that. Obviously, Gunner still, he doesn't care. He's good, you know, gonna do him. He's gonna do the things he does. And it's true, you know, there's been black content creators who've come out and said derogatory things towards Mexicans and Chicanos. And when they did, I did a video, you know, in response to what they said, you know, and what I thought about it. And I think that's the right thing to do. You have a problem, put it out there, you know. I didn't get no response. I didn't get an answer. Nobody cared about what Lucky thought or felt. But I know one thing, you know, thousands of people agreed with me, you know, and that counted for a whole lot, because you don't want thousands of people thinking that you're some type of dirtbag, you know what I mean? Anyway, so when they did call out negative things towards Mexicanos and Chicanos, I did put my opinion out there. That includes WAC 100 and all the stupid, retarded things he was saying. Yeah, I've always voiced and protested that type of activity, you know, from the brothers. And me doing that, and for that reason, I feel it's not just them, it's just human beings that are sick with that disease, that racism disease. You know what I'm saying? So if the raza's doing it, I'm going to call it out. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any room for it. Anyways, Dubs brought out that in YA was very racial. You know, everything was divided, very racially, all racist. And yeah, I could believe that. But we're not in YA no more, nor are we that age anymore. And it said that when you're a child, you do what a child does. But when you grow into a man, you put away those childish things, you know? Anyways, I don't think Dubs really gave a strong, argument towards the subject that we've been on. But he did come out and say something about it, and I kind of felt like he was trying to steer away from the topic, like I said, and the people involved, and talk more about him being in a leadership position, and when he was in YA and back in the day and all that. None of that counts no more. We're talking about grown men doing what we do now. I don't want my channel mentioned by these guys. I don't care about that. It means very little. But I'm glad that other content creators did come out and they did mention me, and they mentioned me in regards to how I responded and what I thought about it, and I was being fair. The same way that I reacted towards the blacks, I reacted towards the person that we were discussing. That being said, I'm gonna tie this up, end this with a story in the county jail. Now, my first time in the county jail, okay, I didn't know what to expect. I knew more or less how to act just by klecha that I had gotten from my older homies and stuff. I knew to take in a clavo when I went to court, and so I took in some weed, and I took in something else, and I didn't know how the jail was set up. I know the jail like the back of my hand pretty much now, or maybe they changed it so much that I don't. But this was in the old side of the county. We went up after coming from 9500. They sent me to a module. Now, in that module, the cell that I landed on had 5 blacks and 1 white, okay? And there was going to be one spot on the floor. I wasn't sleeping on no goddamn floor, okay? And I knew if I missed with the blacks, I was going to have to deal with all of them. And back then, the whites were really targeted, and I didn't see it as racial. I just seen it as, well, at that time, I'm all in the mix, in the neighborhood and everything. I'm not sleeping on no floor, So I told the Gabacho that he was going to sleep on the floor, and the bunk he was on, that's my bunk, that he had to move. And he did it without any problem. He got his little bunk, and he moved, set up his bed on the floor, right? So I had sold a couple of bindles, plus I had money in my books. And what I did was the cash, because you could have cash then, I gave cash to everybody, enough cash for to max out on store. So we bought Life magazines. I even bought I don't know the name of the black magazine, but I bought one of those, Ebony, I think it was, or something, I don't know. All kinds of magazines, newspaper, a carton of each kind of cigarette, menthol and Camels and Marlboros, like loaded up on Zoom Zoom and Wham Whams. For those of you who don't know, that's candies and cakes and stuff, loaded up on coffee, cocoa, all that stuff, okay? And on my birthday, we all had like a little barbecue in the in the cell, where we scraped the top of the bunk. I didn't know how to do this. One of the brothers did, and he scraped the top of the bunk. And I know how to make a bomb, with toilet paper. I'm gonna do it online one day, and put it under the bed to make a little stove. And we fried beef sticks and sausages, and cut up pickle and jalapenos and everything. Made a big old spread for all of us, including the white dude. All of us, everybody in the cell ate, smoked. Then I busted out the Yesca. I rolled up toques for everybody. We were living large, right? But never did they say a cross word to me, or act any type of way but respectful, highly respectful. Yeah, it was cool, you know. And good thing I was there long enough for everybody to eat good and get your smoke on if you smoked. I smoked Camels at the time. When I smoked a cigarette, whoever smoked too. You know, everybody got a cigarette, whoever smoked. And that's just the way it was. You know, my first time in the county. And then finally they called me one day to go to Wayside. Okay. Now I had a little brother that was in Wayside, and he was up there waiting for me. I had already arranged it for me to get pulled to go to his dorm. Okay. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of stuff to this story, but that's my story concerning living with the brothers and the whites. There was no racism. There was no anything, no hostility, you know. I was used to being around the brothers because of my dad. My dad had a lot of black friends, and we spent a lot of time at their house, jumping in their pool with all the kids, you know. And I'd go through the neighborhoods with all the little kids, you know. I was in the car, you know what I mean? And even when I went camping, I stood with the black guys, not the white guys. I stood with the black guys, and there was a few black guys that didn't want me there, and the guy that I had gotten close to would tell him, man, no, he's staying here, man. He's a brother, you know. No, it's not. He's a white boy. He goes, nah, man, he's a brother. Just I see him like I see you. You know, you guys are the same to me. Just relax, you know. And I go, I'm gonna stay right here. This is my bunk right here. This one right here. That's me. You know, and I went and I kicked it on my bunk and just sat there watching everybody talk about it. But anyways, I've had a lot of occasions growing up where I've always gotten along good with blacks, never had no problems or anything. Although in jail, yeah, everybody gets pitted against one another when shit goes down, you know, and in YA and all that. But we're not there. We're here in the street, and we're representing on social media. Every time you get on, you make a video, you're representing the raza, you're representing what you think and feel, you're representing your character, you know. And if you don't see it that way, you know, if it's just a sack of money that you're after, might as well go back to machining, you know, and running the CNCs and setting them up. You said operator, setup machinist, you know. Anyways, this is my video for now. I'm hoping I don't have to talk about any of this again. There's only so much you could do, man. You could only beat a dead horse for so long, you know. But this video came out this morning, and I wanted to do a reaction to it because I thought most of it was impertinent to what was being discussed and who was involved. And I would suggest best thing is when something goes down, hey, you got something to say it. But like speaking for each other and running to each other's rescue and all that, you know, that's weak in any culture, in the joint or in the street, any way you look at it, you know. Unless you guys could see our brothers and it's your little brother or something, then I could see it. But you know, I don't know how you guys know each other and how close you could be, but I think you guys should just let each other fight your own battles, you know. Come out, if you got a beef with what's being said, just say it. And yes, please do not mention my channel. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I don't want to be associated or known that way. Otherwise, I would have got in contact with you guys for some help with my channel and stuff. I didn't contact anybody for that. I've done everything on my own, by myself, figuring it out, just messing with the computer and trying to work it out. And the only person that had offered to help me I never got around to setting that up with him. He's no longer here for me to do that. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Anyways, that being said, I'm going to end this video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. God bless your families. Stay safe, people. Stay free. Hope to see you on the next video. Thank you for your support. Thank you very much.